Hey guys, welcome back to Bick's Pops, and today we're going to go through a collection, one of the first collections I actually collected when I got into Funko Pop collecting. Collect. Anyway, it's a show that I actually got shown by a friend because he knew that I was interested in superheroes, and that show is called The Boys. Now, if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime at the moment, and it's basically about superheroes, okay? So it's if superheroes were more real, had real world problems, okay? So it's like their main 7 people, or the Justice League, if you will, is actually called the Seven. So instead of being privatized by Batman and being owned with all these millions and billions of dollars, in fact, it's actually owned by a corporation named Vought. Now, I won't get into it too deeply, but essentially because, people stuff up and these superheroes are people, they're not perfect, some civilians get hurt, and a lot of people's loved ones get hurt as well. So this is what starts to brew up this rebellion that forms a group known as the Boys. Now, the Boys are all humans that are essentially trying to overthrow this superhero injustice and this, hypocrisy within the whole entire, world, viewing these superheroes as gods when in fact they all doing cover-ups and all the different wrong things corporately. So I really like this show. There's 3 seasons out at the moment. Amazing show. You guys got to watch it. It is gory. It is R18, I will warn you. So if you, are afraid of seeing some fairly interesting scenes, I'd say stay away from it till you're old enough. But otherwise, go for it because it is an amazing show. The superheroes are incredible. The powers, the story, it just leaves you wanting more. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now with this first pop, this one's actually special at the moment and actually quite sought after, especially in Australia, because the actor giveaway, Carl Urban, is actually doing a signing at the Supernova convention. And lucky me, that's actually close to where I am at the moment. So I'm going to try and go and get a couple of things signed. One of them being Billy Butcher. There he is, Carl Urban. Just the common, 977. Amazing pop here. Incredible. I love it. He's basically the main character. Obviously the group is the main characters, but like Billy Butcher's the main one, that's sort of the leader of the group. He's a very interesting character. Carl Urban plays it brilliantly, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next season. Just to let you guys know, it's going to be crazy, and please watch it so you can get up to date and get really interested. But that leads us on to the second one, which I'll also be getting signed, which is actually going for a little bit more because it is the special edition exclusive, Bloody Butcher. In the splattered bloody case, I'll obviously take that off when I'm going to get it signed. But yeah, I think that's just really cool for show because the difference, and I'll get it up on screen, I'll have to be careful taking this one out, but you can see the blood on him versus the common, which I'll show as well. So that's Bloody Butcher. I'll just quickly put him there so you guys can see. I'll start building a little thing over here. But Butcher's basically, a lot of people's favorite character. He's very blunt, to the point, and quite rude. And yes, very vulgar in a lot of things that he says. But a very interesting character, and really sought after these 2 pops at the moment. So I'm lucky that I got in when all these were retail, got in early, and had to pick up the set as soon as I saw the show. So next one that gets us into the collection is another sought after pop from this collection, from another one of the main characters. Now, instead of this time being from the Boys, this main character is the leader of the superhero group, essentially the bad guys, but in society's eyes, the good guys. And that's, of course, Superman himself, Homelander. Now, essentially, he's Superman. For those who, want to know what his powers are, like, he's got the flight, the super strength, the invulnerability, the laser eyes. Like, he's got basically super speed, essentially. He's a very crazy pop and a very crazy character. I really love how this one, I'll have to take him out, is levitating down like a god, and that's what drew me to this one immediately. Was Homelander basically being a god, saving everyone as he floats down, and he's amazing. So I really love that one. And that puts us into the next character, who's another member of the Boys, and the youngest member, essentially the person we follow throughout the story. Now, I know I said Butcher's the main character, but this is a member of the Boys that essentially he is the reason that the whole Boys becomes one, essentially, and that's Hughie. Now, he definitely has some bigger roles and definitely some bigger interesting things happen to him in Season 3, but he's a very cool character, essentially an everyday person that's just been thrown into this world, very, very first scene, well, first couple minutes of the movie, of the show, sorry, yeah, some crazy stuff happens to him. So if you want to know what the show's about, watch the first 10 minutes of the first episode, and you'll see what this show's about, and that's got to do with Hughie as well. So that puts us into the next pop now, and this is now another member of the Seven, the superheroes. Now this person's actually one of the good people, like maybe a spy, if you will. She's on the team with the boys because she has something with Hughie and is actually in the Seven right now. So she has to play both sides, and that creates an interesting story dynamic, and that's, of course, Starlight. Nice pop here, nothing crazy to it. She's just glowing up, you know, her electricity powers, if you will, and just standing there. But the cool thing about this one is that it actually did have a chase variant, and luckily enough, I just happened to be the first pre-order where I was. I didn't even know chases were a thing when I got these. This was my very, very, very first chase, and literally the person walked out, they said, hey, there's a glow variant, do you want it? And I'm like, for no extra. And I'm like, okay, if it's the same but glows, sure, it's better, right? And that one is obviously the Starlight glow-in-the-dark chase. So it's the same figure, it's just her eyes and her hands glow, so I'll get that up so you guys can see, but it's a really nice pop. I love the chase. It's skyrocketed in value as this set has a bit as well. It's already basically $100 plus. Homelander's over 100. These Butchers over 100 now. This set is actually becoming quite valuable and quite sought after, and I'm glad I picked it up early, as I said before. Now, the next character is a member of the Seven in Season 1 as well, and he's got quite an interesting power, and that's Translucent. Now, obviously, by the name, you can sort of tell he goes invisible or translucent, but in the show, he's basically invisible. So, and he's got indestructible diamond carbon skin. He's a very, very interesting character. Like, he's got some interesting tendencies, I'll put it that way. But that's Translucent. And I don't know if you guys notice as well, I'm actually going through these by the box number. So I started with Billy Butcher at 977, and now we're at 981. I'm going through the whole entire set. Now, the next character is with us throughout the whole entire show as well. She's a member of the Seven, but different things happen, but I won't get into it. But she is a very, very interesting character. Has some things to play in the later seasons, but Queen Maeve, essentially your Wonder Woman. Now, she doesn't fly, unfortunately, like Wonder Woman, doesn't have the lasso or anything, but super strong, good fighting, good invulnerability, essentially like Wonder Woman, but that's Queen Maeve. So we'll get her there. Now, after Queen Maeve is another person. Now, in every single superhero team, you have to have a speedster. Now, of course, this speedster is A-Train, and he's an interesting character as well. So all these characters, they all have their interesting quirks and different things about them that you're just like, wow, this is a very, very different group of people that have been thrown together. And anyway, without further ado, we'll get into the speedster A-Train. He's in a nice running pose here, the dirt beneath him in his blue outfit. You can see him there, running away. He's not as fast as the Flash, like he doesn't like alter time with his speed or anything like crazy. It's more realistic and believable, but you know, he's very, very, very fast, don't get me wrong. Breaking this sound barrier, running around the lap, you know, 3 or 4 times in a second, and you're like, what? So very, very fast A-Train. Now, we get onto another grail of this set, if you will, one of the more expensive ones, one of the ones everyone's after as well. Going back to an earlier character, the God, the Superman, Homelander. Now this one is him with his red eyes glowed up. He's pissed. He's not happy. Hands behind the back, power pose, in the blood splatter case because stuff's going to happen when his eyes go red. So that's Homelander, a really, really, really lovely pop. I love this whole entire set, honestly, just because of the characters as well. But it's really fun to see pops that you get for retail early skyrocket in price because you watched the show, hopped on the wave because you knew it would be awesome and popular, and here we are. So this is the fun things about collecting as well. When you get into sleeper sets, if you will, early, like none of these really had value until Season 3 came out. And then they all sort of went crazy, and now Billy Butcher with Karl Urban. I'll get a video with you guys of the signed Karl Urban. It's going to be amazing. Now, anyway, without further ado, we get to the next character who was in the Seven as well. Your Aquaman, if you will, talks to animals, doesn't really control water or anything, but this guy's known as the Deep. He's essentially a joke character. He's the person that gets memed on And yeah, he gets bullied, basically. He's in and out, but he's a very interesting character. Some quite peculiar things that he's interested in, I'll put it that way, but love this pop in his power pose. It's got the Emerald City Comic Con, Spring Convention 2021, The Deep. So I love The Deep, he's funny, but like he's a bit cringe as well, but all of these characters have their own interesting quirks. Now we get to basically not Batman, because he's not rich or anything, but in his elusiveness, in his silence, in his stealth, this guy doesn't say a word to anyone. No one knows if he can even talk. But he is very, 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 very scary, especially if he's hunting after you. That is Black Noir. Now, this guy, I don't even know what his powers are. The Boys comics and the Boys show have two different storylines for him. Now, in the comics, he's essentially a Homelander clone, which is crazy, but in the show, they haven't gone that way. So that's as much as I'll say. But Black Noir and The Deep here, two nice cons that were added to the line. And then we finish up here, last one in the set, gotta be Starlight, in her brand new uniform. This one's not made for kids. She's in a bikini, tight, and yeah, definitely an interesting costume. So that's my boys set, guys. I'll quickly get out a couple of the awesome ones so you can see. So there's that, guys. Amazing set. These are my favorite ones. I love them. They have so much value at the moment. It's crazy. If you can get these for anywhere near retail, jump on them, especially Carl Urban, because you have until April if you wanted to try and get him and sell him to someone that wants him signed, because this pop will also go crazy in value when I do inevitably get it signed. Now, if I ever see Anthony Starr anywhere, I need these ones signed, please. I love it. Your acting is incredible, and it shows from the awards that you guys are winning as well. I love this show. Keep up what you're doing. You guys have shaken up the superhero industry. It's not all goody two-shoes. It's a different take, and I really appreciate that. And I also like that it's made for adults as well. So enjoy it if you're an adult. Probably wait a little bit when you're a kid. You'll appreciate it better, trust me. But otherwise, guys, this show is really, really good. Jump on this set if you can. And I'm really glad to have myself been a part of collecting this, and I'm just going to try and hold this together, get whatever new pops are coming out. I'm keen for the next wave, whatever it may be. I'm going to be on that. Anyway, guys, this is The Boys, and I'm Bick's Pops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.